Thank you for joining us. Welcome to another of the videocasts from the Ontario Hypnosis Centre. Joining me today is our fellow hypnotist Tim Reay, who does a lot of work helping clients overcome personal obstacles and blocks that may prevent them from moving their life in the direction that allows them to enjoy life to the fullest. So Tim, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, where you came from and how you got into hypnosis?
Well, really my first experience of hypnosis in any form was in my doctor's office many years ago, and he taught me a technique to reduce stress. I was in the corporate world at the time and surrounded by stress and driven by stress. And before then, my idea of hypnosis had really been gained from Hollywood movies and TV, and I was very skeptical about its use. But that session my doctor gave me was so beneficial that it caused me to become quite interested in it as a treatment modality, and over the ensuing years I researched it and learned more about it. Became more and more interested to the extent that when I left corporate life, I decided to take a training course in clinical hypnosis. And it was an intensive, extensive course, and I qualified through that. Subsequently gained several hundred hours of experience with clients presenting a different range of difficulties and problems. I was able to help very many of them overcome the difficulties they were experiencing and help them get back on track to leading a fully productive life according to their own abilities and ambitions. To me, it's the field of hypnosis is something that is endlessly fascinating. Everyone is different. Although the problems may sound similar between the clients, each person experiences a particular problem in their own particular way.
Absolutely.
And so I treat each client very much as a unique individual.
Yes.
And I do not believe in one-size-fits-all approaches, because we're all different.
Yeah, and that's what keeps it interesting for us,
Indeed.
is engaging with each individual in a way that best reflects their needs and what
absolutely.
they require for the support that you can offer. And it keeps it interesting and exciting, and it's so fascinating that a lot of the clients who have done work with us would say that eventually they would like to study hypnosis as well, because it's had such a powerful impact on their lives.
Indeed.
And a lot of our students that have come to join us have had hypnosis and have found the benefits to be so remarkable that they then study it, not necessarily to practice it as a modality as a practitioner, but for themselves, so they can learn a bit more about it and continue to use it and the wonderful effects that it has on their lives. What was one of the more interesting cases you had since you started as a practitioner?
There was one, a lady actually, who'd had experienced a very bad relationship, an unhappy relationship, where she had been manipulated and really duped by this individual who had then left her, and she came and she was very down and depressed, feeling unhappy about life in general, and a lady of considerable experience in a very high pressure corporate environment, so a highly capable individual. And after 4 or 5, I think 6 sessions, I was able to help her regain her sense of self-confidence, self-esteem. And I remember to this day, I will always remember how her appearance and her bearing and her whole manner had changed by the end of the sessions. When she came in, she was, she will forgive me for saying this, but was somewhat bedraggled. But at the end, she was once more an elegant, accomplished, confident lady, and I was just delighted to see that.
It's wonderful to be able to see the transformations happen, not only internally but externally as well.
Indeed.
as clients begin to step into their power. And that's basically what hypnosis is. It's really getting the client to step into their own magnificence, their own power, and then use that to change. And we're just basically providing the space and the tools and the mechanisms to assist that change, but it's the client who's actually making the change happen within themselves.
Very much. One of the great truths about hypnosis and its practice is that each individual, each of us, already possesses the resources that we need to make the necessary changes. And it's a matter of helping people not just discover, but often rediscover the resources that we are born with or that we have acquired through our own positive life experiences.
Yes.
And that's a delightful thing to do.
Yeah, and it's wonderful that we could use techniques that help clients to tap into previous successes that they've had in their life and use that to reinforce a current pattern that would help them to then overcome an obstacle they're currently dealing with by simply reminding them of how they've had a success in their life and enhancing that in their subconscious and conscious mind. I love the fact that you mentioned it took about 6 sessions to get your clients there, because a lot of first-timers to hypnosis expect kind of like a stage trick where they would come in and we would do some magic and snap, there they go, they're different, they've changed. And while we have had successes with clients making remarkable shifts in just 1 session, more often than not, clients require at least 5 sessions.
Okay, yes, usually. It depends how deeply rooted the condition is, or the situation is. Hypnosis is not magic. Many people think it is. The results can seem magical, but it's really allowing our inner resources to come out and inform our daily lives. We already have that there.
Yes.
And it's just the knocks and bruises that all of us get from life's experiences. Sometimes they become overwhelming, and the technique is to rediscover that the inherent strength we all have.
Yes.
And bring that back to the forefront.
And it's amazing how you can take some of those knocks and bruises and actually use them as a way to motivate the client by helping them to recognize, any challenges or obstacles they face in their lives could simply be viewed as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become better. Because it's when we have those conflicts and those challenges that we rise to the occasion and become better.
Exactly.
And so it's by cultivating that always forward-thinking mentality and always focused on the goal kind of drive, using the subconscious mind and the power that lies within the subconscious mind to propel you forward. I remember I had one client who was saying to me that she seems to always encounter these major obstacles from friends, individuals in her life, whenever she makes an advancement in her life. And we actually took that and flipped it around and said, whenever you encounter obstacles, it shows that you've made a step forward. Absolutely. It shows that you have gone another rung up on the ladder. So she began to look forward to when she started to encounter resistance, because it just meant that she's moved forward.
We do tend, as humans, to focus on the negative aspects and experiences, and the thing to do is, in my view, life is very much, perhaps totally, a matter of how you look at it. It's a matter of perspective.
Absolutely.
And if we get trapped in the negative aspects of anything, that's how we tend to see everything else. But if we turn it around and refocus on it, and look at it in a different way, such as the example you just mentioned, well, this is just what you see as a difficulty from the reaction of your friends is really an indication that you are progressing. Look at it that way.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden, the weight tends to lift off, and you see it in its true light, a light that is beneficial to you.
Exactly. And so when we teach, we often talk about how everything starts with a thought.
Exactly.
And how it is so vitally important to understand what thoughts you have in your mind and in your head, and how they color the lenses through which you see the world. So by recognizing those subconscious processes and making sure that they're always focused on sort of a positive aspect of moving yourself forward, that you can begin to create the changes. So that's wonderful, Tim. I think we should have a talk some more about the work you've done with your corporate clients at a later time.
Happy to, yeah.
We will sit and maybe you can bring a case study example for us to share, and we can
course.
talk a bit more about that.
I'll be happy to do so.
Great. So thank you for joining us. Feel free to visit us online at www.ontariohypnosiscenter.com. There you can find a contact form where you can email us. Any questions you have, we'll be happy to respond to questions via video or email. Simply respond to you via email, or you can call us at telephone 416-489-0333. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being a part of our discussion.